In our last sitting, Huzur explained the concept of salvation in Christianity.
That's right.
Now, could Huzur kindly explain the concept of Islamic point of view?
Translation, please. The concept of salvation in Islam is no different from the concept of salvation in every other religion, because this is an issue which is essential to the interest of mankind as a whole. It's inconceivable that any religion was revealed by God to humans which did not carry a sensible mode of deliverance from the sin, which did not contain a sensible mode of deliverance from sin as a part of the Sharia. And that is why we read in the Holy Quran, then when Adam committed a folly, it was God who taught him the words of Tauba, which will help him to deliver himself from the sin. And when he did, he was as clean as a newborn baby. So this is the Islamic concept of sin and its deliverance, and deliverance from it. Both the Christian concept and the Islamic concept begin with the tale of Adam. But how different the interpretation of what happened is among Christians of the Pauline imprint, or the Pauline style, and the Muslims and other religions as well. So when I include other religions, perhaps it will become a very involved and lengthy statement we'll have to make of comparing all religions. That is what I do not intend to do, and that is perhaps what you do not intend to ask. But after the translation of this part, I will return to the further explanation of what the concept of deliverance from sin in Islam is found, which according to Islam is common to all other religions. So returning to Adam, according to the Pauline philosophy, which is now owned by Christianity almost entirely, Adam sinned because of Eve, and it was the woman who was responsible for the sin. And they were not forgiven, because had they been forgiven, the sin could not have passed on to the future generations. So the mankind, according to that philosophy, remained sinful, and before the death of every generation, we see no sign of them having been delivered from the sin or its consequences, until Jesus was born. And with the birth of Jesus, a new system was devised by God through which sins could be condoned and forgiven. And that is by having faith on Jesus Christ's being a Son of God. This is the methodology which is ununderstandable by the rest of the world, but somehow they stick to it. But in Islam, it is very clearly said in the Holy Quran that Adam was taught those words of forgiveness, those words seeking forgiveness from Allah, which were accepted by God, and he was forgiven. And also that Eve was not the one who initiated the crime. Islam absolves woman of being the original sinner who also dragged man with her sin. The Holy Quran clearly says it was Adam who made a mistake, and the Eve followed. So not only do we read a very interesting lesson in the system, in the art of forgiveness. Allah teaches the art of forgiveness, and every religion teaches that art. And the Holy Quran is so full of so many verses of prayer which are mentioned in the Quran with reference to many a prophet of God. Like Lot when he was swallowed, like Jonah when he was swallowed by the fish. In the zulamat of its belly, he said, no, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. And this was the cry of his soul. A confession so profound and so pathetic that it was impossible not to be forgiven. It was impossible for him not to be forgiven when he confessed in such pathetic terms and offered himself to God, to the mercy of God. So this is the fundamental principle of forgiveness, as mentioned in the Holy Quran, that when you confess your sins honestly, in all sincerity, and express your helplessness to be delivered from the clutches of sin, and seek help from Allah, and seek forgiveness from Him, He is so forgiving and so merciful that once He decides to forgive, there is no need of any other excuse for Him. No lamb is to sacrifice. Only the lamb of human sinfulness has to be sacrificed, and a clean conscience is born out of that. This is the Islamic philosophy of forgiveness or deliverance from sin.